There is something sacred about the present moment. It holds a unique authority, a divine invitation to step into the version of yourself you've always known you could be. Too often, we treat change as a distant dream, something we'll pursue when the timing feels right, when life settles down, when circumstances line up perfectly. But here's the truth. Life rarely hands us the perfect set of conditions. If we keep waiting for the storm to pass, we might miss the chance to dance in the rain. Change begins the moment you decide it must. Not when you feel ready, not when everything is secure, but when you realize that staying the same is more costly than the discomfort of transformation. Growth is rarely convenient, but it is always worth it. It's the choice to rewrite your story, to no longer allow the pages to be filled with excuses or fear, but with courage, persistence, and faith in what's possible. The challenge is that transformation requires more than desire. It demands alignment. Your thoughts must agree with your words must agree with your actions, and your actions must agree with your vision. Every step you take today toward your goal, no matter how small, echoes into your tomorrow. When your daily habits reflect the person you are becoming, change stops being a dream and starts being a lifestyle. You see, destiny isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you partner with through intentional choices. And each choice you make today is either building the future you long for or reinforcing the one you want to leave behind. That's why today matters so much. The present is a seed. What you plant in it will determine the harvest you gather in the seasons ahead. So, stand up to the voice that says, wait until later. Silence the thought that whispers, you're not ready. You are ready, not because you have everything figured out, but because you have the courage to begin. The moment you take that first step, heaven starts to partner with you, resources begin to align, and strength you didn't know you had will rise within you. Today is not just another day on the calendar, it's an invitation. Step into it with boldness. Change your thoughts, change your words, change your actions, and watch as your life transforms before your eyes. Transformation is not a future event, it is a present decision. The moment you understand this truth, it begins to dismantle the idea that you must wait for ideal circumstances to begin changing your life. Many people live in the illusion of someday. They say things like, someday I'll start my business, or someday I'll break this habit, or someday I'll pursue my dream. But the danger with someday is that it almost always stays in the future, just out of reach. This mindset gives us a false sense of comfort, as though we are planning for something, when in reality we are postponing it indefinitely. The first shift in transformation is realizing that change is not a matter of convenience, it's a matter of conviction. When the decision to grow becomes urgent enough in your heart, the conditions around you lose their power to dictate your timeline. Think of the human life like a journey. There are crossroads where you must choose which way to go, and every choice you make takes you further in a certain direction. If you wait for a perfectly clear map, you will remain at the crossroads forever. But if you choose a path today, even with limited clarity, you set yourself in motion, and motion creates momentum. Momentum is one of the greatest allies in transformation. The first step may feel small or uncertain, but it breaks the inertia that holds so many people in place. This is why deciding in the present moment is so critical. It sets in motion the very process that will create the conditions you once thought you had to wait for. Delaying change is often rooted in fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. But fear loses its grip when you take action. Action builds confidence, and confidence fuels further action. If you take even the smallest step toward change today, you will already be stronger than you were yesterday. Waiting, on the other hand, strengthens hesitation. Every day you put off your decision is another day that reinforces your comfort zone, making it harder to leave. This is why people can spend years dreaming but never doing. They've unintentionally trained themselves to delay. The present moment is powerful because it is the only time you can actually control. The past is unchangeable, and the future is not guaranteed, but today is fully in your hands. The choice you make right now is not just about the next hour. It shapes the weeks, months, and years ahead. The sooner you choose to act, the sooner you can reap the benefits of your decision. Think of it like planting a tree. The best time to plant it was years ago, but the second best time is now. If you keep waiting for better weather, the planting never happens, and the shade you long for will never come. Transformation is also not a single dramatic event for most people. It's a series of consistent present moment choices. Each day you decide again to align with your new direction. Every morning you have the opportunity to reaffirm your commitment to the person you want to become. This is why making the decision today is so important. It's not just about starting, it's about starting a habit of choosing growth every day. Some people think they need more motivation before they can start, but motivation often comes after action, not before it. Once you take that first step, the sense of progress fuels your desire to keep going. You discover that the energy you thought you lacked was hidden inside you, waiting for the moment you committed. The present decision unlocks resources that hesitation keeps buried. It's also worth noting that when you make a decision to change today, you signal to yourself and to the world that you are ready to grow. This creates a shift in your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who wants to change and start seeing yourself as someone who is changing. This mental shift is powerful because your actions will naturally begin to align with your new self-image. People around you will also notice the difference, and opportunities will begin to open that were invisible before. The truth is, the perfect time to change will never arrive on its own. Life will always present challenges, interruptions, and reasons to wait. If you can embrace the fact that change will always feel a little inconvenient, you'll stop letting inconvenience be your excuse. You'll begin to see obstacles as part of the process, not signs to turn back. When you choose to transform in the present moment, you reclaim control over your life. You stop being a passive participant, waiting for things to happen, and start being an active creator of your future. The present decision is the doorway to the life you've imagined, and it's available to you every single day. The longer you wait, the longer you postpone the life you're capable of living. The sooner you act, the sooner you step into it. The choice is always in your hands, and it always begins with now. The power to change your life lies in aligning your heart, mind, and actions with purpose. Many people want change but find themselves stuck because one of these three areas is out of alignment. The heart might desire something deeply, but the mind is filled with doubt. The mind might be convinced of a new direction, but the actions don't reflect it. Or perhaps the actions are there for a short time, but the heart isn't truly invested, so the effort fades away. True and lasting transformation begins when all three, what you believe, what you feel, and what you do, are working together toward the same vision. Alignment starts with clarity of purpose. If you don't know where you're going, your energy will be scattered in 100 directions, and you'll wonder why you never make real progress. Purpose acts like a compass. It helps you filter decisions, choose priorities, and focus your energy on what truly matters. When you know your purpose, your mind can be trained to think in ways that support it. Your heart becomes emotionally invested, and your actions begin to reinforce your direction instead of contradicting it. Many people underestimate the role of the heart in change. The heart is the center of your values, desires, and passion. If your heart isn't in the transformation you're pursuing, it will be an uphill battle. You might be able to force change for a while through sheer willpower, but eventually your motivation will fade. Lasting change comes when your heart fully believes that the new path is worth pursuing, worth sacrificing for, and worth enduring challenges to achieve. This is why people who connect change to a deep why tend to succeed more often. They're not just chasing an external reward. They're honoring something deeply important to them. Once the heart is in the right place, the mind must come into agreement. The mind controls your thoughts, beliefs, and internal narratives. If your mind is filled with limiting beliefs, such as I'm not capable or I always fail, you will sabotage your own efforts, even if your heart longs for change. This is why renewing the way you think is crucial. You must replace lies with truth, fear with courage, and doubt with possibility. The mind can be trained through repetition, reflection, and exposure to positive influences. When your mind starts speaking the same language as your heart, you eliminate the internal conflict that drains energy and slows progress. The final piece of alignment is action. Without action, even the most passionate heart and the most convinced mind remain stuck in theory. Action is the evidence of belief. It's the daily habits, choices, and steps you take that turn a dream into reality. And here's the key. The actions you choose should reflect the identity you're building, not the one you're leaving behind. If you want to be healthy, you take the actions of a healthy person before you feel like one. If you want to be financially secure, you make the choices of a disciplined steward before your bank account reflects it. This creates a reinforcing loop. Your actions confirm your beliefs, which strengthen your emotions, which fuel even greater action. One reason people fail to sustain change is because their actions are inconsistent with their internal agreement. They may say they want something, but their habits prove otherwise. They may start strong, but abandon the process when it becomes uncomfortable. This is why discipline matters so much. Discipline is not about punishing yourself. It's about consistently choosing the actions that align with your purpose, even when you don't feel like it. Alignment is not a one-time event. It's a process you revisit regularly. As life changes, new challenges and opportunities will test whether your heart, mind, and actions are still working together. If you notice that progress has slowed or that motivation is fading, it's often a sign that something in your alignment needs adjusting. Maybe your purpose has become unclear and you need to reconnect with your why. Maybe your mind has slipped back into old thought patterns and you need to renew your perspective. Or maybe your actions have drifted and you need to recommit to the habits that move you forward. When alignment is in place, change becomes far more natural. You're no longer fighting yourself internally. Your energy isn't wasted on doubt, hesitation, or self-sabotage. Every part of you is moving in the same direction, which creates a powerful sense of momentum. Opportunities seem to appear more often, not because the world has suddenly changed, but because you've become more aware and prepared to seize them. It's also important to understand that alignment makes you resilient. When your heart, mind, and actions are connected to your purpose, setbacks don't destroy you, they refine you. You can face obstacles without losing sight of your vision because your internal foundation is strong. You can adapt your strategy without abandoning your mission. This is the kind of strength that allows you to not just start change, but to sustain it until the results are fully realized. The choice to align yourself is ultimately a choice to live intentionally. Instead of reacting to life, you start creating it. Instead of being pulled in 100 directions by distractions, you live from a clear center. The more you practice this alignment, the more natural it becomes, and the faster you can course correct when you drift. When heart, mind, and actions agree, change is no longer something you have to force. It becomes the natural flow of who you are becoming. You move forward not out of obligation, but out of alignment with the life you were created to live. This is the place where real transformation happens, and it always is. Momentum in life is like the wind in the sails of a ship. It doesn't just make the journey easier, it makes it faster and more purposeful. The alignment of conviction and action creates this momentum, because every step you take affirms what you believe, and every belief you hold directs the steps you take. This continuous cycle strengthens both sides. The more you act in line with your convictions, the more those convictions become unshakable. And the more unshakable they become, the more boldly you act. One of the greatest challenges people face is the gap between what they say they believe and what they actually do. This gap is where frustration, inconsistency, and stagnation live. You might believe in honesty, but find yourself bending the truth to avoid discomfort. You might believe in discipline, but skip your commitments when it's inconvenient. Every time your actions contradict your convictions, you weaken your own sense of integrity. This is not about guilt. It's about recognizing that integrity fuels momentum. The more consistent you are, the more trust you build with yourself. When you trust yourself, you stop second-guessing every decision, and that confidence drives you further toward your goals. Consistency is one of the most powerful ingredients in momentum. Small, repeated actions compound over time to create significant results. You don't have to take massive leaps every day. You simply need to keep moving in the right direction. If you believe in health, show it through the meals you choose, the movement you commit to, and the rest you prioritize. If you believe in generosity, live it out through acts of kindness, financial giving, or offering your time to others. These actions may seem small in the moment, but they reinforce your convictions until they become second nature. Momentum also transforms how you handle resistance. In the beginning, acting on you, your convictions may feel awkward or uncomfortable. You may face pushback from others or even from your own old habits. But as you keep going, the momentum you build becomes a force that carries you over these obstacles. What was once difficult becomes automatic. This is why people who stick to their convictions for long periods often seem unshakable. They've trained themselves to move forward no matter what, and the habits they've formed make it easier to stay on course. Living out your convictions also sends a message to those around you. People can sense authenticity, and they are drawn to it. When your actions match your beliefs, you inspire trust and respect. You become someone others look to for stability and guidance, not because you are perfect, but because you are consistent. This influence is a natural byproduct of living in alignment, and it often opens doors you could not have forced open by effort alone. It's important to understand that momentum is not built overnight. It grows through the steady rhythm of showing up every day. There will be times when your emotions try to pull you away from what you believe. Feelings are temporary, but convictions are meant to be steadfast. The key is to let your convictions lead, not your emotions. You don't wait until you feel like doing the right thing. You do it because it's the right thing, and in time, your emotions catch up. This process of conviction-driven action doesn't just change your circumstances, it changes you. Each choice to live out your beliefs strengthens your character. It builds resilience, sharpens your decision-making, and deepens your sense of purpose. You begin to see challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to prove your convictions under pressure. This inner strength is what makes your momentum unstoppable, because it's not based on perfect conditions. It's anchored in who you are becoming. There is a powerful freedom that comes from closing the gap between what you believe and what you do. You no longer waste energy battling internal contradictions. You no longer live with the quiet